What is going on, everybody? We are back with our review for Goosebumps Season 1, Episode 2, The Haunted Mask Part 2. Um, Honestly, I'm just going to be 100% with you guys. I give this like an 8.5 to 9 out of 10, especially when combined with the very first Haunted Mask. But I do want to talk about it, and I want to talk about some other things. Again, this is the second part that was released on the same day as the first part. They were both directed by Timothy Bond, written by Jose Rivera, released on October 27th, 1995, and is based off of the 11th Goosebumps book called The Haunted Mask. I have read this, I've seen it before, and as I've said before, I've seen every episode of Goosebumps. One of my favorite shows as a kid growing up. It was just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. With that being said, so kind of going over the episode, we pick up where we left off with the first episode, right? Carly Beth is goofing off and trying to scare her best friend. Her best friend gets mad about it, but they laugh it off, and they go to do some trick-or-treating. Carly Beth acts kind of an ass, leaves her friend behind, goes, finds the two boys, scares them, has an epiphany moment, which is one of my favorite moments in the episode, where she says, "This is the old Carly Beth." She wanted to. She didn't want to let me take. She didn't want to let me have control, but I took it. And it's kind of, I don't know, that's not exactly how she said it. I don't remember the exact words, but that's honestly kind of what was going on. Is the mask wanted control of Carly Beth. Carly Beth didn't want to give it up, but the mask takes control. Her friend eventually catches up with her, is like, "Hey, you've got to chill out," and she's like, "I know." So they go back to her friend's house. Her friend basically tells her, she's like, or tries to help her get the mask off. The mask won't come off; it's stuck to her. And then she goes back. Carly Beth goes back to the shop owner. The shop owner tells her, like, "Hey, I made these masks." So he ties it into his old faces, and every time they become grotesque, he makes a new one because he's not comfortable with who he is on the inside. He says there's only one way that you might be able to actually get the mask off, and that's if you have a symbol of love or something along those lines. And she goes and finds the old head that she had buried in the cemetery that her mom had made, and it helps get the mask off. The episode ends with one of my favorite endings, and it's where the kid brother puts the mask on and he's becoming the mask, and we all know damn good and well he's not going to get that mask off because he's a rotten little shit. However, fantastic episode. One of the things that I absolutely love about this episode is about these two episodes, The Haunted Mask as a whole. Not every single episode of Goosebumps has a moral behind it. Some of them do, some of them don't. This is one of those, there is a hidden moral behind it. Well, it's not really hidden, it's kind of in your face if you're really paying attention. And it's basically about the need to accept who you are on the inside. Because sometimes you take steps to change who you are, and when you change who you are, you're not always going to like who walks out of the other end, and once you do, it is really hard to go back to who you were. And I really, really like that moral being told, especially to kids, because kids spend so much time worried about what everyone else thinks instead of just staying true to who they are. And I know this. Again, as a teenager, I struggled with the same thing. I remember liking this girl. I asked her out to a movie, and she said yes. And I completely changed my whole look to be more like the types of dudes that she dated. We still ended up not dating. We went to this one movie together, and this is again as a teenager. Did not help me at all. And at the end of the day, I just felt stupid. Like I had spiked my hair up, dressed all super alternative. Like he even had the little ball necklace, and it it wasn't me, right? And I feel like a lot of kids go through this where they're trying to find any way they can to be accepted, and that's not always the right path. Um, Again, I absolutely love these episodes. I just love R.L. Stein's work. Because so many of these, almost every single one of these, I can sit here and remember most of the majority of these episodes, and almost all of them have a twist, terrible ending. And yeah, it's just they all almost all of them end in a way that is just completely screwed up, and I love it. So yeah, like I said, I would give this specific episode an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. Um, Goosebumps is a series I would probably come close to doing that with, and hopefully you're enjoying. You have, and will continue to enjoy this ride with us. Again, if you're somebody that's new to the channel and you want to see everything much, much sooner, I put every single episode and every single review out a week early over on Patreon. Be sure to follow the Patreon if you just want access to everything much, much sooner. All right, guys, that is going to do it. I love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace.